Nope, phone call. I think we're live now. Alrighty. What's up, guys? This is Zach with CNA Games, or locally at Cardinal Gaming and Repair, and this is kind of a soft part 2 to my mass console repair marathon that I've been working on. Today we are going to be doing a bunch of Game Boy Colors. All of these have problems in some capacity, or at least they should, and it's going to be my goal to work through some amount of them with a mass amount of stuff that I had ordered off of AliExpress, replacement battery covers, screen cover, or the glass lenses, battery terminals, power switches, volume sliders, things like that. So it's going to be my goal today to work through an amount of these. All of these will be, well, an amount of them will be available for sale after they get fixed and processed into our inventory on our website, cnagames.com, or locally at either of our Louisville locations. So if you're finding yourself needing a Game Boy Color, we're going to have fresh, recently refurbished systems hitting the shelves soon. So I don't know which one we're going to get started with, so we'll just pick a random one. I'm Evil Zack, by the way. I had to get glasses, and good Zack, he doesn't wear glasses, so I'm Evil Zack. Yeah, my kind of dirty work area. This is going to be our first one. We are seeing no audio. Let's see if we can validate that issue. Some batteries. Yep, it is indeed no audio. So let's see if we can find out why there's no audio. We're going to go with path of least resistance first by just replacing the speaker. Got a buttload of replacement speakers. There goes my air compressor. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's see if we can have a little more fun a little closer up. I didn't choose the best testing game, but it was what I had conveniently. Immediately, nothing really seems out of place. Looks like a relatively clean interior. When the screens get bad enough, which I would say this one's kind of right at the cusp on being bad enough with this guy right there, we're going to replace the lens with a glass lens. So it'll have the screen looking a lot nicer, easier on the eyes to view. So can we pull this out without lifting up? Nope, we can't. So we're gonna give me a size 1. I was actually didn't do it on camera, but I worked through an amount of our Game Boy Pockets to where I don't really care about working on them anymore, and then also worked on most of our Game Boy SPs, or Advance SPs. Got through the ones that had easy to fix issues and stuff like that, so I still have some SPs to work on. I'm kind of in the mindset that I'm just gonna any of the ones that I can't fix, or shells, or beyond relative saving, or screens bad, things like that, I'm just gonna probably do some kind of like screen mod, something along those lines. All right. Gotta find us There's the new speakers. Got a buttload of these. Apparently, these speakers work across multiple different handhelds. There's our new speaker. I guess it kind of, well, maybe not. I don't know. Am I looking at the right one? It might be these. Let's see if this one does the job. Same diameter. I'm gonna jump right in with the first one. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we're lucky and it's just a bad speaker. It was nice working on the pockets because it kind of gave me a feel for working on these. I've kind of, for better or for worse, been offloading these way too long. And, okay, yeah, these have to be. Just trying to make sure that I'm not, yeah, they're different. Might need to maybe put down some kind of, and we'll see what it looks like when it's done. I'm gonna just go ahead and partially put it back together. I don't take up that much space. I need to get you guys comfortable with my glasses. Well, I guess I need to get myself comfortable with them. I have an astigmatism. And one eye is worse than the other, and these glasses have me seeing slanted lines. It's definitely a little jarring. But it hasn't affected my ability to work yet, so at least there's that. All right. Volume all the way up. And we have sound now. So that's a good first one. We're already one system in. Again, this one's gonna need to have a new screen cover put on, but other than that, we went from no audio to audio. That's a, I'm gonna do some testing real quick. I'm gonna see if I need to figure out some sort of speaker solution that doesn't have it moving around. I don't know what it's gonna be like, because it's definitely not the same format. It fits in the hole the same way, but not the same format.
Oh, are we live?
Yep.
Wow. Awesome. Action-packed episode today.
All right, I don't hear any more shaking more than the buttons would cause by themselves, so I think the replacement speaker is probably fine to use as is. Trying to, nope, nothing's really sticking out. So as you can see, Oh yeah, can't go get far with. You guys can hear it. That's all that matters. So we got the speaker working again. Now we need to put a new lens on it and a new that's Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance. Do I have? Where are my Advance, Pockets, regular Advance? I didn't prepare. All right, I need to go get Game Boy Color lenses. I thought I had them, but I thought wrong. Got an amount that should be enough to get us through whatever we work on today. I don't plan on replacing all the screens because I like to retain the original screen when it still shows relatively well. Trying to weigh that difference between collector and someone just trying to play it. Me personally, I'd take a glass lens over the stock lens any day of the week, but I'd say there's gonna be people out there who don't share that sentiment. Heating up the screen for a straightforward removal. I'm not going to spend a lot of time cleaning these. That's going to be done by somebody else in final processing. But I can at least get the stuff that they need to have done out of the way. Well, that gets it off. Use some compressed air to clean any foreign particles so that we can drop and of course it really should only happen right before you're about to put the screen on, because as soon as you go to do it, more will replace it. Those particles are a bane of my existence. So I did exactly what I didn't want it to do. I try to be a perfectionist with this. So if I see any particles on the interior of the screen, which this is not good enough. I think that got the most of it. You can just put it anywhere that it fits, really. Is that rush processing? Okay. then I ain't looking at it. All right, that looks good to me. I don't see any glaring particles. I think that's good. All right, new lens. Let's see how these aftermarket back covers look. I got one just for this color. At this point, it's, you know, trade-offs that you make. Oh wow, these are even labeled Game Boy. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's good enough. I'll take it. For refurbished and working, I'll take it. So, of course, need batteries. What I need to be doing is testing all the buttons, and I don't think I have a good game to do that. Man, imagine if playing streaming games was done like this, where you actually had to like watch the person with their buttons. Yep, that's good. All right, so buttons all seem to work. This system is clear for final processing and adding to the system. And now we can move on to the next one. I saw another obvious no audio sticker. I don't want to do the same thing back to back, so of course I pick up one that still same thing. So I mean, I have my speakers all right in front of me now. This one's going to need another lens, back cover. Let's verify the issue first. Yep, definitely not loud. And volume's turned all the way up. So it's going to be another speaker replace first, see if that solves the problem. Probably will solve the problem. If the first one did it, it's probably going to be the same with the rest of them. Which isn't the end of the world. I mean, if the worst that I have to do to fix these is replace the speakers, that's easy money. And that just so happens to be my favorite thing. Easy money. Evil Zack prefers his money easy. I was gonna make a joke. I don't think my wife would have liked it. Alright, so we got another, I mean, looks crusty and dusty in there, but, you know, I don't have any reference point for what would cause these to fail outside of, I guess, damage to the coil in the speaker. I'm not a, I know little to nothing about audio equipment repair, and when replacement speakers are fractions of $1 a piece, I'm going with the path of least resistance. I made an electronics joke, resistance, see? Oh look, there's the sign for resistance right there. Man, I'm so funny. Evil Zack is funny. Regular Zack. Good Zack. He was good, but he wasn't funny. And again, we're just gonna get it together enough to test. I think I'd like to figure out a good solution to keeping the speaker in a uniform location that doesn't have it shaking around or anything. We'll get to see what it's like in the... I gotta get this lined up correct. We'll get to see what it's like if I could get these darn screws. I'll just take the screws out. They're getting in my way. Okay. Slide the LCD connector back in. Should have got a copy of Pokemon to test with. Pokemon Gold or Silver. Intro song is the better one. Well, if it works, we may not get back in here, so let's just tack it back down. All right. Number 2. I'm just gonna screw these down. That way, if it ends up working, I don't have to pull the batteries back out. Volume is already, turned up. And now we have audio again. Well, it's nothing fancy, but if it works, it works. I'm gonna see how this speaker looks. All right. This lens is also pretty ugly. Speakers make no sound. I need a game that I can test A and B working faster. Okay, I heard a button. I heard a response when I pressed B, so that should be good. Well, we're two systems in already. How long have we been streaming? 23 minutes. That's a system every 11 and a half minutes. Well, it's 24 minutes now, so a system every 12 minutes. Those are good numbers. This time I'm gonna do a smart. Oh wait, you can't really tell that the speaker is kind of just floating there. And in use, you can't really there's no shaking any more than like the buttons shake, so I wish these speakers came with the built-in holder. That would have been nice. Am I missing something here? Maybe I can pop this out and reuse it? No, it looks like it's all one unit, so that's not working. maybe like a clear plastic. All my double-sided tape is yeah. I don't think there's any really good solution to this. But either way, we need to replace the lens. I can hear the adhesive bending to my will. Let's get a replacement cover ready. Probably better to do the top corner. I like using this when I can because then I don't have to pry against the plastic with anything. This is the friendlier method of removal. All right. Looks good. Of course, we got a little dot right here. And now the dot is gone. Okay. Make sure there's nothing else. Let's see how this looks. No obvious dust particles on the inside. I'd say we're good to go. Pop out the battery cover, or pop out the game. And let's see what these clear plastic ones look like. They're individually bagged. Yeah, less enthusiastic about this one, but it's still, you know, I wouldn't say that our goal here is really to, you know, give people the illusion that these are original bags. So it kind of just is what it is. You can either have no back or a fake back. And I'll take a fake back over no back. So there we go, number 2. I might have to come back to those speakers. All right, this one's gonna be more fun. No power. We can actually maybe fix something today besides just speakers. So no power. That's the initial diagnosis that led it to being on my bench, and it indeed is not powering on. Let's see if we can find out why. Could be a bad power switch, could be a failed component on the motherboard, could be bad battery terminals. there are a lot of options here. Take it apart first, and then once we pop off this cover, we'll get to see the damage, hopefully. Well, I was hopeful, but doesn't seem like much to work off of. We have a fuse here. We're going to check that. We have 2 fuses. Battery terminals look good. So let's get our multimeter set to diode mode and test some fuses. See if anything pops up. Alright, that fuse is fusing. That one is too. So if the battery terminal, let's look at this one. This one looks a little bad, but at least I don't think that it should be bad enough to not give us continuity from one side to the other. We need something to bridge these two together. Let's see. We can look at power switch, but this power switch looks pretty good. I mean, the entire motherboard really looks pretty good. Any shorts on these main capacitors? Nope. No power, no good battery. Maybe I should turn on autofocus. Well, we can at least go the next step. And pop out the motherboard. Maybe there'll be something obvious on the other side. I should also go get my other, should have a, nope, everything looks good on this side too, so, I'm going to try to loosen up any potential contaminants in the power switch. And we can at least do this where with even with the LCD disconnected, we can test it. If we get a red light, no red, oh, we get a little flash. So now I am starting to, yeah, yep, it's the power switch. All right, that tells me what I need to know. Cool. Well, we know what the problem is now. So I was moving the power switch, and I was able to get the LED to kind of flicker on and off. So that's going to pretty well establish that this is a power switch failure. And I have replacement power switches. So we're going to replace this bad boy. Oh, I got to take off my glasses for the microscope. We'll I'm gonna face cam back on over here too. All right. So I tend to kind of just brute force this, getting into here with these, because I'm replacing the entire switch. So I don't really need to keep it in good shape, but I could. Now, if we wanted to be economical, got a wedge in here so we can pry it out. There we go. All right. Man, this thing is hanging on for dear life. It doesn't want to leave. There we go. All right. And then, so this will give you a look into why it is we need to clean up. So this is the inner workings of a Game Boy Color power switch, and so we have a couple options here. We could probably clean this stuff up. These contacts move up and down here. You know what? I'm gonna try that. You know what? Let's be economical today. Yes, all of our repaired, well, so we don't really have a clear distinction set up between stuff that is repaired and stuff that is just tested, verified, working, and sold in that capacity. But so when we take stuff in, it's going to meet one of those two criteria. It's either going to be a known good working system that we test all aspects working and then put out for sale, or it's going to be a system that needs some amount of repair in order to be made in what we would consider sellable condition. So one of the two things, which we've kind of toyed with the idea of doing a refurbished listing for stuff, and that might be something that we look at for stuff like this, but we haven't got there yet. So this is kind of what we're working with so far. But everything on our website for video games, our video game consoles, were either tested working at some point and then listed, or they were fixed and then tested working and then listed. So right now I'm doing what's probably going to be a waste of time compared to just replacing this entire power port. But we're going to see if it solves the problem. Because more than likely this is just the contacts on this little switch right here, those little contacts not making good connection with the metal here because of all the stuff that's here. And you can either solve the problem by replacing this entire switch assembly, or you can get in here and clean it up, and one way or the other you'll have a working trigger switch. It's honestly kind of nice to work on these kinds of things compared to what I usually work on, because this stuff is a lot simpler. Like not even a little bit. Like it is a lot simpler to work on this stuff than it is like a 3DS. A 3DS is a nightmare to work on. I hate working on 3DSs. I offer it as repairs and I do them, but I complain about it the entire time because they are annoying and they are way more complicated. So we've scored this stuff up pretty good. Cleaned it up with some isopropyl. Let's give this guy some attention. My nice, well manicured nails. Don't mind those. What we can seat it in here. Well, I would think that would hold it in place. There we go. I can get another Q-tip and all right, so now we can put our cover back on. That's a good question. I didn't even know that we had a Zelda DS Lite. So I will say that we are typically very strict with our conditioning standards. And we have a category called cosmetic flaw that we designate specifically to items that aren't in what we would consider good sellable condition. So if it's not listed as cosmetic flaw, then it is very likely in pretty good shape. I would say probably the best thing to do in that case would be to shoot us a message on Facebook or email our support email, and we can have somebody send you some pictures. But if it's not in as cosmetic flaw, I would gamble to say that it's probably in pretty good shape. I'm not gonna say for certain because I don't know. I didn't even know that we had one. But like I said, if you wanted to reach out to us, we can get you the information that would help you make that decision better. We're still trying to figure out a good system for adding things like pictures to our Shopify listing. So hopefully things like that will start to have their own pictures. That's probably going to happen along with when we do our transition into our Shopify being integrated with eBay, because at that point we will need, and yep, oh wait, I can flip this around and show you guys. That's well, it was better, but it's still not good enough. So it was nice to try, but we're just going to replace the Analog Pocket doesn't do DS games, so that's the biggest detracting factor from that. But I mean, in the realm of Game Boy to Game Boy Advance, that's a pretty good value proposition, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you. Part of me kind of wants a an analog pocket. I told our manager if they bought one, I'll buy one. But then they went to the website and none of the good colors were there, so it kind of saved us. You know, we don't have to worry about getting what ain't available. I don't like to pay markup on stuff, and if I can't have the color that I want, it ain't worth it. Well, it was fun trying to clean this stuff up and get it to work. At the very least, we can say beyond a reasonable doubt that the problem here is the power switch. So now we no longer have a power switch. We're going to use some, I'm going to put down some flux. How does that happen? Yep. We aren't getting one because that's all that was available. I'm trying to remember what color I had when I was a child, but I probably had like 5 different colors through the years, so I think I should probably just pick whichever color looks the coolest. So what I'm doing right now is I'm setting up for the replacement power switch. Atomic purple is the color you're referring to. Power switches. Alright, so we got one for GBA. This one doesn't say. Oh, SP. And then Switch V2. What is that? That doesn't tell me nothing. What in the world is Switch V2? Oh well, if it lines up, we use it. So they've got little it's like a little adapter motherboard that you drop over. If I can get one out. And this one looks like it's it. Yeah, I think this one is it. So we're gonna tack down those holes. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. And I even got tipped off by a friend telling me that those were gonna be made available, and dumb me. I didn't get them. But yes, as the value proposition for the analog pocket makes needless to say, if they offered some kind of wholesale opportunity, I would be interested in selling their product. I think there is a good value proposition with that product, more so than even like modded systems and things like that, which, you know, as much as I love doing those. So we've got our 4 points tacked down. I'm gonna move. Oh yeah, I don't need luck on this one. This is pure skill, but maybe I'll need luck on the next one, so I appreciate it. Evil Zack doesn't need luck. Evil Zack is 100% skill. Alright, so we got all of our points lined up. They're calling me. Alright, that thing ain't going nowhere. Nice chunky joints. And now we can, I just got a new Stream Deck. Found a good deal on it at a pawn shop. I didn't even think I needed one, but when stuff becomes cheap enough, I tend to buy. And that's what happened. It became cheap enough, so I bought. Would I pay for one? Would I pay retail for one? Probably not. But at a certain point, right now, the only thing that I really plan on using it for is scene switching and OBS. All right, so it's on, it's off. Let's get in there with a tweezer. On, off, on, off, on, off. Look at that. See, no luck required. 100% skill. Now we can reassemble. We'll give this these buttons a little bit of attention. And now we can drop this bad boy back in its Of course I say that and then I mess up entirely. All right. You know what? We're in here. Let's clean it out. Looks like paper of some sort. All right, there we go. Got all of the 20. Oh gosh, 98 to 2028. That's, oh gosh, it's more than 20. All right, I'm still young. I'm still young. Don't mind the gray hair. $30 is the new 20. And 3 Phillips. It's funny actually, getting into this shows me how similar the Game Boy Pocket and the Game Boy Color are. Like they are very similar on the inside. Very similar. Not a lot of overlap. So we got little flicky switch working. Oh, there we go. I was like, wait a minute, why is it not seating? But it just, motherboard wasn't seated correctly. All right, flicky switch is back to good shape. Got to have a little more fun with this one. With Collecticon coming up in a couple of weeks, it'll be nice to have an amount of these available for sale. Unless we sell them all before that. I guess that'd be the only bad side. Alright. All of our screws. And that's a working. Let's just hope that the alright, sound also works. Select button. Oh, well. All right, so the select button's being a little finicky. I don't like it. We're gonna have to do a little more work to this bad boy. Of course, it would be after we completely reassemble it, but it's got to do everything that it's supposed to do. I haven't gone as far as doing like the rubber contact replacement. I feel like that tends to not really need to be the case unless you have torn contact or the little rubber membranes, whatever they're called. No, we're a lot further with this system at least. That's the good thing. All right. That power switch looks clean up there. Maybe it was something just as simple as the membrane not being set correctly. No, this looks pretty dirty. And yeah, select specifically looks more dirty. So that very well could be the case. So we're gonna thought I did this, but I guess I didn't do it enough, or I guess I didn't do start select. So we're gonna do the button, contacts, and the little contact pads. Yeah, you can see some dusties, some dirties. And I think that's good enough. We'll give these guys some action too, since we're already in here. All right. Drop it back in place. All right. I should probably test it again before completely reassembling it, but you know what they say about bad habits or old habits. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to completely reassemble it and assume that it works until we realize the error in our ways. Or I could just do this. The worst that I have to do is reset the screws. That's not the end of the world. I really need a better game than this stupid football game. Alright, yep, it responded with no. Okay, select changes that. Yeah, we're good. Alright. I think that did what we needed it to do. We're going to need to replace that cover and the glass lens. And then we'll be up to 3. 3 in an hour. Oh man, our time is off now. We were at 1 every 12 minutes. Now we're at 1 every not even 20 minutes because we're past an hour. That's terrible. My averages. I'm not even done with this one yet. Say I'll probably do about an hour more before calling it. Hopefully we can put a good dent. We're gonna have some trouble using the our little suction cup because there's a bunch of adhesive on this. You might have to just pick a point and wedge. I doubt suction will work. Well, I doubted wrong. Preparing the glass lens. At least this isn't like the PSP. The PSP just invites all kinds of dust. In between the glass and the... But this looks pretty good. I say that and then I keep having little Alright, another great looking screen. I do love how these look when you install the new glass lens. All right, let's see how the berry red, I think that's what this one's called, berry red. It definitely doesn't feel original. And it's not perfect. Again, not really trying to pass it off as real. I wouldn't want that to be the assumption. Just that it looks good and that it does its job. And I'd say it's doing that well enough. So there's number 3. We're 3 in, hour and 5 minutes in. We need to fix 5 more in less than an hour. That's what we're gonna try to do. I'm gonna put my evil Zack glasses back on. All right here. Oh boy, what would you guess? Speaker issues. I'm gonna let somebody else take care of that. So we're gonna verify speaker issues. And yeah, indeed, speaker issues. But that's good for us because if it's just another speaker, then we are spending a lot less time on this one than we did the previous one. That will help our averages. We're going, let's say, I want 1 every 15 minutes. Let's do that. 1 every 15 minutes will be what we're going to shoot for. I like to set high goals because even if I fail them, I probably still did good. And if I met them, then I didn't set it high enough. Don't want to work too fast though that you miss stuff. Most of these tend to be pretty clean on the end. Oh, there's no speaker here. Well, that's interesting. No speaker. Not even the wire for the speaker. It's just gone. Well, I just so happen to have some wire. That we can use to solve this problem. Try to be lazy, and it doesn't work. All right. Get our little cutters. We don't need a lot. Probably enough right there. And then I'm gonna kind of just melt this into place. There we go. All right, we got something to work with, some meat on this wire now. And again, we don't need a whole lot, probably right there. I'm cheating. Give it some more solder to work with. All right. With new speaker, let's pop on the back cover, just enough to test it. Still no audio. So with there not being a speaker in here and there not being audio, that's kind of leading me into thinking that somebody has tried to work on this before. That's at least my initial assumption. Let's make sure that our speaker is doing speaker stuff correctly. Verify continuity and no bridges. Okay, we have. Alright, so maybe it's just me. Because we got continuity on one side, on one, but not the other. So let's check our work. Well, it's wires holding in place. One, we're good there. What do we got voltage? Maybe this is me just not understanding how speakers work. Probably the case. Okay. Well, so much for our system every 15 minutes. That's out the window. Probably the next logical step here would be to pull this board out, see if on the other side there's any signs of activity, any signs of prior work or anything like that. No, well, I don't think that's bad enough to cause a problem. Maybe. We'll clean it up. Just trying to make sure that there's no reason why we shouldn't have continuity over a wire, so it might just be me. Let's rule laziness out of the equation and just do this wire correctly. I say that and I don't use wire cutters. All right. Let's try round 3. We're not gonna put anything together. We're not even gonna attach the LCD. If it doesn't make a sound, it doesn't work. All right, yep, it was my stupidity. Well, my laziness. I should have ran the wire correctly. Since we're already in this far, we'll go ahead and clean up the motherboard contacts. That way at least we will have to worry less about any buttons not working. So we got the contacts on the motherboard good. Now let's do the same with the rubber contacts. Alright, there shouldn't be very much to get in the way of good contact between the buttons and the motherboard now. Now we need to get this motherboard out of the wrong side of the shell so we can drop it in the right side of the shell. Looks like what probably happened here was somebody tried to fix this before and didn't know how to solder. So they pulled the wires out because the actual wires were still in the solder joint. So they tried to do it, couldn't do it, and then here we are, fixing said. Oh, it is this side. Okay, fixing said Game Boy. And so this puts us still over our one system every 20 minutes. When we're trying to get to one system every 15 minutes, I really need to pick something that just needs a screen cover. I need to get these averages up. Or down. down is the correct term. Honestly, I probably should have did a live stream for the GBASPs, just because, well, really it was a lot of power switches. A lot of power switches, like more than I would expect. I also found a bunch of them having LNR trigger switch issues, and the only good way to fix that is to replace those. So I have a bunch of those on order, along with some more batteries. So those, the ones that we have, if we have any on our website, are either tested and verified working or fixed, tested, verified, and working. All right, now we have another glass lens to replace. Let's get us a green back cover. These solid colors tend to be pretty good looking for aftermarket. Yeah, I mean, actually this one's kind of probably the worst one. I mean, yeah, definitely not as good looking. Before we replace the glass lens, let's test button functionality with a game that's probably not the best for doing that. Really just need something to test B. Well, we're about to get the ball, so. Oh no! Alright, yeah, B button works. So our directions work. So at this point, the only thing we really need to do to this system is just give it a new lens, and it'll be good to go. Really wish there was a better way to do this. The one thing that I always struggle with is making good, dust-free, I guess, interface between the lens and the screen. But that looks good. That's on the outside. Yep. All right. Needs a final cleaning, but other than that, it's good to go. And we're 4 in. I don't even want to touch that one. It says water damage. parts. No. Oh, so many speakers, and they all need glass lenses. All right. At this point, there's probably not even any value in testing this because it's probably going to be exactly what the sticker says it is. But something about due diligence, I guess. Something about due diligence. And of course, no sound, just like the sticker says. All right, this time the wire's already gonna be there. The speaker replacement's gonna be no time at all, and then everything is gonna just work the way that it's supposed to. That's how this one's gonna go. In a good spot with our queue right now. Only one repair put in today, so this lets me really focus on doing stuff like this, and there's no shortage of stuff like this that needs to be done. Alright, got our wires separated. Oh, it's not gonna... I thought I could squeeze this out without... Am I wrong in thinking that I was able to take this out? Oh well. I don't at least have to take off the LCD connector. Could have sworn I took the other ones out without. It's probably enough right there. Another speaker. All right, 2 connections made. And we don't have to completely reassemble to test. And sound, of course, does work again. But, oh. Yeah, I was like, it's not very loud. And I guess it would make sense since most of the speaker grill is covered. So let's, yep, that's about where we'd want it to be. All right. Now, before I go completely reassembling this, I probably should test the buttons. We are going to have to replace the glass lens. It seems to be par for the course for all these. which I'm not supposed to be screwing these down, but we're gonna do it to ourselves. Yep, we're gonna do it to ourselves. I deserve every bit of it. My average is destroyed. My averages. What did I do? I tried to be too fast, and I end up being the loser. Well, today's stream is Game Boy Color speaker replacement stream. Every Game Boy Color except one speaker replacement. I mean, that's nice because this is a product that we didn't have to sell otherwise, but I'm not one to be fond of doing the same repair over and over again. I guess I could make a good exception for PS5 HDMIs, but that's just because we get paid for those. Now again, just like with the last one, we need to clean up the contact pads and the rubber contacts. Some 91% ISO. And a Q-tip. Does everything we need. And then we'll switch it up to the other side. Man, Pokemon with a save game right now would probably actually be the best way to test all these. But all the ones that we put out for sale get new save batteries, so not really a good way to get that. Our in-house tester Pokemon game with a save file. Every time we use it to test, we have to catch a Pokemon or level up a Pokemon. That'd be funny. Probably wouldn't be conducive to effective work, but it would be funny. We are at least, I'd say we're in a good spot to go ahead and be able to reassemble this without worry of anything else not working. I'd say it's a safe bet. It's a gamble, but it's a safe gamble. These buttons tend to only not work because of debris and whatnot, so cleaning them up should go a long way to solve that problem. But this will be number 5, of course, after we replace the glass lens. 5 out of 21 and 6:15. We're gonna go for another 45 minutes. Hopefully we can get 3 more done after this one. That's what I want to see. That's one every 15 minutes. Oh yeah, we actually need to test the buttons. Yep, minimal press to... I think we're good. And again, another glass replacement. Hopefully the people who buy these will appreciate them at least. I definitely like the glass lenses more than the plastic ones, even when the plastic ones are in good shape. So I'm pretty sure if I keep the lens, the adhesive side facing down, I won't have to worry about any dust particles falling onto it. Nope, we're good. Another You had this color Game Boy for your birthday in 1999. I wish I remembered what color my Game Boy was. I don't remember. I know it might have been atomic purple, but I don't remember, and that hurts me. I wish I had that memory. I remember my first Pokemon game was, it was blue. Yep, I was blue. Blue and gold. And of course yellow, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Slight shell damage. All right, well, let's just, okay, I see what they're referring to with the shell damage, because there is a crack right here. We would definitely condition that out, so I think we have shells in the back. Well, there's a lot more work to do in here. We have a bunch of motherboards not labeled with what their issue is. Some missing speakers. Speaker. Well, I didn't make my job any easier. Let's just say that. And then I also didn't make it any easier either because I don't have this color shell to replace this with. So at the very least, I am harvesting the screen and all the rest of the stuff out of it and gonna toss the shell. I don't know. No. Say I could put this out as cosmetic flaw, but because it doesn't affect functionality, but I don't like. Yeah, so I see you're a person of culture, Andy. Blue and gold. That is the correct sequence. Blue and gold. Now, favorite Gen 1 and Gen 2 starters. That's gonna tell me everything I need to know about you. All right, I think for this one, we are just gonna move on, and when I'm done with all the rest of these, I'll come back. Same with this one. Water damage, shaky screen. Let's see what this means exactly. What is water damage? Well, it's definitely no audio. What is shaky screen? Is that referring to the lens? And what is the... we have a pretty clean replacement back cover that we can use for this, I think, which is what we'll probably do. But if this is just a speaker and another glass lens, then we don't have to do too much. And this repair stream is all Game Boy Color speakers. What a pain in the butt. Yeah, this is clean on the inside. I'm going to say beyond a reasonable doubt that the liquid damage was probably just referring to the outer perimeter, which we'll go ahead and clean that up now. Because since you can see inside of it, I don't see any indications on the front side of liquid damage. Definitely crusty in here. Use some tweezers and break this stuff up. All right, we're not even going to worry about keeping this. So we're going to drop the screws out of it. I mean, really, it's just some adhesive. Do I really want to throw away some Goo Gone? We're not throwing this away. This keeps us, well, 1, 2. We already are one back cover negative. So I don't know. At the point where I'm doing a bunch of screen or shell stuff, I kind of feel like at that point you might as well just start doing custom work. So I'll just set this one to the side. We can do that. We can do that. We don't have to throw it away, but we don't have to use it for this one either. We have our screws. We have our back cover. We're gonna Okay, I tried. Which, really, I should be doing this off the rip. Just going ahead and getting into here and cleaning up the front sides. Being able to test it working. Probably just be better to know that it's not going to be a variable by cleaning them proactively. So that's what we're going to do. Give these a nice proactive cleaning. We've got the Q-tips to waste. And we're not going to hit our 15 minutes per device anyway, so. We'll give up on our hopes and dreams and instead focus on having these guys all look good. All right. While we're here, let's go ahead and swap out this speaker. So many new speakers today. All right, we need this solder to cooperate with us, so we're gonna flux with it. Get it? Flux with it. I'm so funny. I fluxed around, and now we're gonna find out. Continuing my funny streak. I hope nobody, don't tell anybody. Got a little bit of some light corrosion on the LCD flex. We're gonna you know what, maybe this is what the shaky screen is referring to. Because we only got far enough to see the Game Boy logo, and then that does not put an image on the entire screen. So maybe we're about to find out what the problem actually is here. Which if it is, like either the connector or the flex or the connector, we can look at our options there. Yeah, we did everything. Let's drop it in. We're not going to put any screws in. And we're going to do a good testing. We got sound output. Okay. B button's making a noise like it's working. All 4 directions, our little guy right here. Alright. So this guy should be good. Didn't see any issues with the screen, so we're going to replace the lens again for the millionth time. And we'll have another one out of the way. We're just kind of behind on our goal of 3 more before 7. We've got 30 minutes left, and this is 1 of 3. All right, now prepare our screen before we go blowing anything. Well, I think it's a safe assumption that failed speakers on Game Boy Color is a common problem. Oh no! Alright, that's still good. Alright, there we go, much better. A screen that is free of dust in between the lens and the screen itself. We're up to our 6th. 6 in 2 hours. That's 3 every... Oh, we're still at 20 minutes a system. We're a little faster. You know, we shaved 5 minutes off our time. We're at an hour and 55 minutes. So 6 in an hour and 55 is slightly less than 2 hours per or 20 minutes per system. And we sell these for like 80 to 90 bucks a system, so that at least gives us some idea of what we're going to be getting out of these for the time put in. Game Boy Color, again. All right, this one powers on, no image on screen. Ooh, original back, that's good. Pin that back in the... So let's see this power on, no image on screen. So sound works, power works, no screen output. Let's take a guess. LCD, flex, maybe. All right, we have some liquid damage. Oh, in the well, okay, so this is still good. Let's move to the microscope and look at this stuff up close. Try to understand exactly what's happening here. So you can see corrosion. And what we're going to try to do before doing any specific or any substantial repairs, we're just going to try cleaning this up. Get us a nice abrasive brush. The connector itself looks pretty good. So we're going to say that that's probably not the problem. The connector honestly cleaned up pretty nice. The only problem is we can't see what's going on the inside, so let's you know what, let's just see what this does. I don't see any burned connections or anything like that. That tells me that's more than likely just a contact issue. Which tells me we might have already fixed the issue. And we already fixed the issue. Look at that. Just a basic cleaning of the connector, and we're back in good shape. Before we get too far into it, oh, battery popped out. Battery keeps popping out because the screw's out a little bit, but honestly, buttons seem to be pressing okay. Yep, there's me jumping around over there. All the directions. All right, yep, we're good. We're gonna give this guy a new laser, new lens, not a laser. Wrong device. And this actually really helps our time, because we replace the screen lens and we're done. Probably will look at some custom shell options. I like cranking out the custom systems. Backlit IPS, things like that. Especially GBA. It's my favorite system to do that too. Power's on, no image on screen. A simple cleaning of the LCD flex and the connector. Just heating up that sticker so it pops off easy. All right. Really good for our time here. Really good. And the more of these I'm doing, the better I'm getting at slapping these down without any dust in the interface. That's good. We're done. That was a very quick turnaround. All right. Random next one. A button mush. Ooh. Ooh, Zach. Ooh, Zach. A button mushy. This one might be too fast. There's a screw in here. I don't know why there's a screw in here, but I'm not going to ask questions. There's missing screws in here. Well, yeah, A button is mushy because there's not a good connection. Well, even if this was a good candidate for a swap, it's not anymore. But this front cover looks good. We're gonna transplant. Probably the best thing to do here. And this is a little more work than initial expectation, but it'll be a good one to wrap up with. Be a good one to wrap up with. I say that because if it was too fast, we'd have time to do another one, and I don't want to do another one. I'm fine with stopping here, and we will jump back into these maybe even tomorrow. I don't know. Can I pop out this screen reasonably? Yes, I can. All right, good deal. Not going to worry about cleaning anything up yet, just because we're going to take off that front cover anyways. This is garbage now. And we'll give this the same attention. We know the speaker is working already. We just need good working buttons, which they probably already work, but we're this far in, so there's no reason not to. Now, these start select buttons seem like they get pretty gross compared to the rest of the buttons. So, if it was working, it was probably close to not working again. I'm not missing anything here. Slot. There we go. All right. Drop this down. So we're short a couple screws, but I think I have what we need in my screw pile over here. I'm pretty sure Game Boy Pocket and Game Boy Color share the same screws. Oh wait, I was doing Game Boy SP last. Maybe I don't have any of these screws. Well, do I have an equivalent? Let's see. This is probably an equivalent. Yeah, here's our screw for, well, this one's honestly not that great either. Do we have a better back? Nope, we don't. This is the best we got. So this is what we're going to work with. All right. We do need another screw for the motherboard. I think I have a box for Game Boy Color small parts. I know I do. Game Boy Color small parts. Ooh, Game Boy Color battery covers. Oh, we have some original battery covers over here. Well, now we don't have to salvage screws. We have screws, button. This is actually, I didn't do this, but it's good to have it now at least. Right here, just what we need. Small Phillips. It was meant to be. Get our LCD connector back in place. Now we can drop our back cover on. This is Tri-Wing, not Phillips. All right, we got 10 minutes to spare. Well, not after. It'll be less than that by the time I get the new lens on, but I think this will be a great stopping point. hopefully we're able to find good homes for all of these systems. Oh, this was an inventory item. Well, yeah, this was in for 81 as a cosmetic flaw, which I don't necessarily disagree with that. There's some shell cracking at a couple different spots. Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna... probably shouldn't be putting stickers over areas that have stickers, because I would much prefer to preserve that little Mario phone number sticker. It looks like we can get it all off, but oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I'm not enacting full laziness. We have a perfectly good one. Wait, is this original? No, it's not original. Is this one original? No, also not original. That one's original, but it's beat up. So we're... Alright, we at least got it looking better. It's not perfect, but it's good. Last console of the day. Oh no, A button is still mushy. Oh no. Well, that tells me it's probably going to be a torn rubber contact that I didn't pay attention to. So now we're going to have to stay over overtime unless I can be fast as the wind. Fortunately, we have replacement rubber contacts right next to us. And that's going to make this process a heck of a lot easier. Now I know where all the contact pads and small parts and stuff were for these systems. Alright, off, 3 screws. LCD connector. Oh, yep, very obvious now. Torn rubber contact pad. All right, throw it away. Replace with another one. This one is not torn. We're gonna pop it in, clean it up. I think we'll still make time. We're still gonna make time. Got 5 minutes. 5 minutes to do a new glass lens. We'll reassemble and do a new glass lens. I think we can make it. All right. 3 motherboard screws. And then back cover. And it's going to be really funny if I test that A button working, but then the B button doesn't work. That would be my luck. All right, last screw. It's a stickery mess over here. A button responds correctly and is also working. Start button seems like it's working. We're running. And yeah, everything's good here. Yep, all the buttons are working the way they're supposed to. We are good for a new lens. Did I have one more lens over here? Wow, I didn't. I used all the lenses. Oh well. We'll pop this one off and go grab another one. Some adhesive that'll need to be cleaned up, but at least... Oh my god, it came off, but it didn't come off. Alright, got a lot of cleaning to do in here. Gonna need one more... Oh, I used all of them. Alright. Probably going to need more, so I'll just go ahead and take the whole stack with me. I think I have more lenses than I have systems, which is good, but... Alright. We're going to get our screen ready. That's pretty good. And that means right at 7 o'clock, we are done. We have, I'll bring them over. Ugh. How do I hold all of these Game Boy Colors? So, yep, here is our finished product. 8. It looks like we got a lot of, we got 3 of the, I can't remember what color green these are, but 3 of the green, 3 of the atomic purple, I think 1 of the berry blue or berry purple, berry red. I don't know. We've got 8 Game Boy Colors fixed today. In 2 hours and 20 minutes of streaming, what is that? What is 6, 12, 14? 140. 6, well, yeah, 1 divided by 8. All right, 17 and a half minutes per system. That sounds pretty good. I like the way that sounds. So all of these are going to get additional processing, cleaning up, making sure that they look good. We got everything tested, but now we want to make sure that they look good. And these will all end up in our system, available for sale on our website, available for sale at either of our locations. We'll probably spread out stock to both locations based on stock need. And also, if you end up at Collecticon Chicago, you might see a couple of these out there for sale too. So I did what I wanted to do today. I fixed some Game Boy Colors. Probably going to come back maybe tomorrow and fix some more. And hopefully we have a little more diversity in our problems. But it was nice at least to see the spread. I'll be honest, like I jumped past all of these kinds of repairs when I got into doing repairs. So going back into these systems, I wouldn't say that it's entirely new to me, but it's new enough to where I have opportunity to learn like the subtleties for each system, and it's nice to finally get my hands dirty with the Game Boy Color. My Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Advance SP, and I'd say the Game Boy Advance are all now I've been inside of them enough to be relatively comfortable with them. So we'll see what we got in the next one. Probably going to be more Game Boy Colors, but we'll see when tomorrow or the next time we stream rolls around. I appreciate everyone who hung out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.